of judgment approaches, a day of enormous tribulation for all of humanity. We had to restore Arks to its former glory and might in preparation for that day. The glory and might of 1,000 years past.
Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel, NiNjahCheeto here. Today I'm going to cover a few important reminders y'all might want to take care of before maintenance. There are a few important things going away, as well as some stuff that you all will already know, but a reminder never hurts, right? By the way, I would like to respect my viewers' precious time, so be sure to use the timestamp chapters in the video play bar, as well as the video description, to help you get the info you need from this video faster and back to your day. So, let's jump into it. So this week we do have an Arks record ranking going. It's going to be the Field Dash and West Aelio. Now if you open your menu and you go to Personal and then Arks Records and then Random Challenge Records, you can find it right here, West Aelio Dash Stage 1. And you can see if you just do this, just do a run of this really fast, you're going to get 20 Arks record badges. And if you want to get a little bit more sweaty and try to go for first or gold or whatever, you can. But here's the terminal right here that I'm standing up to, and I'll open my map and show you all where that is. And it's right here at the Aelio Town Ruins for you, right here over in West Aelio. And you can see that this little terminal right here is where you would start it up. Now it's actually like pretty worth for y'all to go through and try to do this on every ship. If you have a character on multiple ships, I would suggest going through and running this. I'm going to run it through just really fast just to try to go through it quickly, just to show y'all how quick this one actually is. Like, I'm not going to try to grab the little symbols and stuff. I'm just going to get the bronze record ranking because it's just really fast. You can see all I got to do if I just run over to the left and we'll just go through these little symbols here. And it's going to take about roughly 30 seconds to get through this. And here's the last one over here. The moment that I hit this next little goal right here, we're going to have our Arks record ranking complete. Now I can actually go on all 4 ships and I can do that. And see, there we go. Like just that quickly, I'm going to get my star gems for the week. Thanks to the Arks record badge ranking rewards. So definitely make sure y'all go out there and do that this week. Okay, so we have a couple AC scratches going away this week, and one of the first ones we're going to mention is going to be the AC support items till June 23. Now inside of here there's actually some boosters that you can get a hold of, and this is actually a good time for you to price check in case you want to buy these, if you want to scratch for them, or if you just want to buy them from player markets. Some of these are really good. This XD Def Parfait, for example, is probably considered one of the best in slot augments, I would say. So it's probably going to have a hefty price. And saying that, if you've been scratching on this, make sure that you use your select ticket from the scratch for the frequency bonus. And most likely you could go through and check the prices of all these on the different the different ones, but I would say this one's probably going to be the most. So this is the price on ship 1 currently, which is roughly almost 10 million. These will probably spike up once the scratch is gone too, I would say. So I got a little bit of a cameo here from my friend Di too. She's dancing here next to me today while showing you all these AC scratches that are going to be going away, helping out with some reminders. And her character cute. And as well, we also want to mention there's one more AC scratch that's going to be going away, is the Accessory Collection June 23. So same case with this one. If you've been scratching on it, make sure that you go through and use your select tickets for the scratch. And as well, you can go through the prize listing here and see if there's any of these items here that you want. You can go through and look at them on the player market. Some of them will probably be pretty decent prices right now to pick up, so good time to snag some stuff before it goes away again and gets more expensive. Some of the items that was in the frequency bonus here can actually be sold on player markets too, like the Photon Halo C here, for example. You can see over in the top right that it doesn't show anything about not being tradable on player shops and whatnot, so you can actually buy this stuff on player shops. So something I did want to mention, now this isn't a weekly trade, this is actually a monthly trade. Arch, the Creative Space NPC here, has exchanged Genesis points trade here, and if you look up in the top right, you can see it's going to be 9 days. It's going to reset from the time of me making this video. It should be a 30-day reset timer, I believe, but you can go through here and trade in some of your Genesis points for some different things here. Some of this stuff sells for pretty good money on the player market, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so now it's going to come to the part of the video where we're going to discuss a little bit about weekly trades here. Now, some of this stuff has changed recently, and I got a little tip for y'all today that's going to be a little different from a friend of mine, Uber. Okay, so if you come to the first shop on the left in Central City, you can come to the item trader Travis here, and you're going to go hit the item exchange at the bottom here, and make sure you trade in for your N-Augmentation. Success rate 10%. You can get 3 of these a week. It just takes 30 gold Prim swords. Make sure you do this. Saves a lot of money on enhancing. Then next, we're going to go ahead and mention the Arks Record Badge Exchange. Now, the Arks Record Badge Exchange has star gems added to it, and as well, there's also Arms Refiner 2s in here. Now, something really interesting that my friend UberElite has mentioned, I'm going to leave a link in the video description below to UberElite's Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. They do various streams and video content sometimes, and they also give a lot of really useful information on Twitter. I actually get a lot of my information from them quite often. And I just want to give them a proper little shout out here because they came up with the idea of, if you look at the top right up here, you can see that it's can purchase 2 per account, right? When it comes to the star gems. But what you can do is you can go off and do these Ark record rankings on other ships. So if I have characters on all 4 ships, for example, and I can just go through and just do one run getting like a bronze record badge placement, and that's going to give me 20 Arks record badge ranking rewards next week, right? So then I can just use those badges on the ship that I don't play on to get these star gems here while I'm still getting the Arks record badge ranking rewards on all the other ships too. And on my main ship here, I could trade in for the arms refiner 2s, or I could trade in for the camos, or just any of these other items, the Aegis Integras and so forth. So it's actually a way for you to make Meseta on other ships, as well as get the star gems on other ships too. And then whatever ship that you main, you can still have like an abundance of to get like the stuff that's really, really important to you. That was a really good idea about Uber. So big shout out to them. Now, next we're going to go ahead and mention that there's the item exchange Stia. If you go to the item exchange Stia, there's always the Alt Secret 4 here. These usually sell for pretty good money. And then as well, there's also Arms Refiner 1s in here if you need to get a hold of some of those. Another place you can get some. Up next, we'll go ahead and mention the Aegis Integra exchange. This one's always very important too because you can exchange in for the Aegis Souls and the Dominas and whatnot to make the Halfinelli. That's always selling for a lot of money. And then as well, we're also going to mention the Giga Strugment exchange shop here. Now, if you've been running the LTQ drops Giga Strugments, as well as you can get them from the Gigantics in any of the Aelio region, from the Gigantics Recons, as well as the Gigantics that spawn from the Storm and so forth. And you can get all these camos, which can be sold on the player shops, or these different little like capsules and whatnot. So keep that in mind. There's like a weekly limit to some of this stuff. Now, as well, we want to go ahead and mention that as the Item Lab Enhancement Technician here, you can trade in at the bottom in enhancement exchange materials, and right here for other enhancement materials, make sure that you all trade in for your 10 gold Prim sword 2 as well as your 10 gold Prim armor 2. Now you can trade in for 10 of these per week of each one, and they sell for a pretty good amount of money on the player markets. These things are key to enhancing your gear from 60 to 70, which is a really, really big damage boost. Like, everybody out there should be trying to plus 70 your gear. It adds a lot of damage. And then on top of that, you can also trade in for your Arms Refiner 2s, your Arms Refiners, and your Photon chunks here too to get a hold of like your potential level 6 and whatnot. And that's a lot of damage too. Some of the biggest damage you're going to get in the game right now is this going to be putting plus 60 on, or plus 70 on your weapon though. That adds a lot. Another trade we're going to go ahead and mention is going to be the Alliance Activity Support NPC Tim. Tim has an exchange shop here for the Alliance badges that you get from doing the Alliance task. And you can trade in for your star gems here as well. Now, of course, this one only just goes for your whole account, so you can really only do this on just one ship. But you can trade in for your star gems here weekly, so you want to make sure that you do that. And then you can also trade in for your Dark Falls triggers here, these trigger interception rank 2, as well as the Battle of Halfia Lake. These all sell for pretty good money on the player market. And if y'all wasn't aware, the ratty souls that come from the Dark Falls interception sell for a lot of money too, because they're used to make the new soul that we got in the game. So it's definitely worth running these or selling these. Either way, their ratty souls have a lot of value. So it's good stuff here. Don't miss out on that. You have a weekly limit that you can get of them. Okay, so lastly, one more trade that we're going to mention is going to require you to go back to base PSO2, and we're going to get our casino star gems from there. Now, to get casino star gems from base PSO2, you're going to have to actually have base PSO2 downloaded, which is an additional download file now, and it's pretty big. It's like 60-70 gigs or something like that. I think it's like 70 extra gigs. And you have to download it as an additional DLC, which is completely free. Now, if you're unsure of how to get there, you can go from any Ryuker and you go to block transfer, and up at the very top is an option for your transfer to PSO2 block. Okay, so another way to get base PSO2, if you're on your ship selection screen, you just select whatever ship you're on. You're going to go through your authenticating ID. And then from there, when you go to character selection, once you select your character, it brings up a menu here for base PSO2 or NGS. Now, upon logging into base PSO2, it's going to put you right here in the Arks ship lobby. If you turn around and go to the elevator right here and hit the button, then you can jump down, and you can see right now we currently have the Sonic lobby going on in the base PSO2 lobby as well. If you run around and grab these rings, you'll actually make the Chaos Emerald appear in Sonic's hand there. It's actually pretty cool. It's just like little rings just randomly scattered around the whole place. But if you turn around, you can see the entrance to the casino right here. And then from here, when you run over to the left, there's a prize attendant here, Chip, and Chip has limited time prizes for Star Gems weekly. And I usually try to pick up the 10 Star Gems weekly, and you can actually grab this per ship too, so you can actually get these weekly on every ship. Now, if you're unsure of how to get a hold of casino coins, which you need to trade in for these, if you first come in here, this NPC right here has some passes around the casino that you can do, get a hold of some easy passes. And then whenever you have the passes, you take them to this Voldrag machine here, and you can just spin it, and it'll spit out a random value of coins, with the minimum being either 100 or 500, depending on if you selected 1 or 5 passes. You can see right there, I got 500 coins. Now, another way to get a hold of these casino passes is pretty easy. Back here in the main game base lobby, you can see if we run over here to the left from the starting point, there's the daily order attendant here. And usually I look down here at the bottom, there's usually some collect orders that'll be pretty easy, like this desert flounder, for example, would be pretty easy for me to go gather from the desert area. Or there's like some kill quests that you could do, or like a little collect quest here that you can like send your little support partner out on to go get the items from. So what I do is I stack up these items. Like you can see the desert flounder that I just grabbed. I have 85 of this item. So I'm gonna go ahead and just turn in one of these, and it's gonna clear a daily order for me. And it's got a pop-up showing completed a daily order, 5 casino coin passes, which is 500 casino coins minimum. And you can actually do this per character that you have every day too. So it's a really good way to get a hold of low effort Star Gems weekly just from doing the casino trade. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for today. By the way, how have you all been enjoying the Sonic lobby and the limited time quest? Have any of you obtained a super rare non-star weapon yet? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and have a wonderful day, friends. See you in the next one.